Like I told Ryan this one a little bit earlier. I have a couple of like probably the worst guest interactions I had.
Okay.
So my friend Gary, he was a clown. I would always say he was the best of us. His name was Spooky the Clown. He was in like a straight jacket. He like looked absolutely foul with like his wig and stuff. And just a great human being. Like I've known him for years now. And I miss you, Gary. If you're listening to this, hit me up. I miss you, man. Gary's a great guy. And Gary, you know, people come up and harass us all the time. Like, you know, again, some guests are like having fun. Some people just come to these events to drink, get drunk, and then just to harass us. And so I walked up one time, scaring in the crowd, and I see my friend Gary. These two dudes walk up, and I'm walking. I see them walking up, and I go, "Oh, these guys are in trouble." I can clock them a mile away now. I've been doing this for so long. I can clock these people a mile away. And I'm following these two dudes. I'm like, these guys they're gonna go punch somebody. They're gonna punch somebody. Especially the first like 30 minutes of the night when people are really scared and freaked out, people are a lot more aggressive. And I would honestly at Fright Fest, I would break character. We're not what I was supposed to do, and I would just be like, hey, like, look, we're just people. Like I would try to de-escalate. You know, I wasn't a total asshole all the time. Sometimes to be fun, I was because I was allowed to. But I would try to de-escalate people because my thought is like, okay, if I get punched, I'm like a 6 foot, like 230 pound guy. But they're going to go to the next scare zone, find the smallest performer, guy or girl, and they're just going to wail on them. And then that's, you know, they're going to get lights out. Like, at least I could probably take a punch. That, you know, there's some people that work these events that they can't. And I want to defend my friends. Because if if people are chirping at me or saying whatever to me, I don't care. The moment they turn and they start messing with one of like my castmates, like my friends, oh man, that's what pisses me off, man. That always boils. Like, I can hold a level head, but nothing gets me angry when I see someone messing with a friend of mine. So I would try to de-escalate people, and I'm following these guys, kind of like, please don't touch anybody, please don't touch. Sure enough, they go up to my friend Gary, they grab him from behind, they pull him back, and the guy screams as loud as he can in this guy's ear. Ah! And poor Gary's sitting there like, oh, and I walk up, are you okay? And he's like, oh, and he's like, my ear, my ear's ringing. They made this guy's ear ring. So they just literally just assaulted this man. People come, they just assault. They go, oh, it's funny, he's a performer. No, you just assaulted a human being. It's crazy. And people think that that's okay. It's okay behavior. So if you go to a haunt, don't be a dick. They scream in his ear, so I walk up. I was so mad. So I did something I'm not supposed to do. So sorry. Sorry, Mr. Six. No, I would sometimes scare with a whistle. I'd act like I'm a referee or like a lifeguard. I just a prop. I had tons of props on me at all times. And I'd walk up and they're always like, the whistle's okay, you can scare with it, just don't do it in anyone's ear. I was so mad. So I didn't do it directly into his ear because I don't think I could ever do that to somebody. But I go right behind the same guy that just did that to him, and I get as close as I could to the back of his head so it wasn't directly in his ear, and I just blew my whistle as loud as I could. And the guy's like, oh, wow, that hurt my ear so much. And his friend comes and shoves me, and his friend's like, you can't do that. And I go, what do you mean? You just did it to him. They go, what do you mean? And I go, well, that's a guy. That's a human man. You just screamed in his ear, and he's holding his ear right now. And now your friend's doing the same thing. And he was like, fuck you, all this stuff. Fuck you. And I went, all right. And then the guy was like squaring up to me, and he was like they were kind of rounding up to my friend Gary, and my friend Gary grabs me and he goes, it's not worth it, Nate, let's get out of here, it's not worth it. So he pulls me off, let's go. So him and I run backstage, these guys kind of follow us. We get all the way backstage, and so they leave us. Okay. And we're like, let's just go backstage, just go report it to security, let's get them on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I'm sorry that happened. He goes, no, thank you for coming to my defense. He's like, I'd get you back, if anyone ever did that to you. Let's flash forward to the end. That was the first weekend. Second to last weekend of that year. Guess who comes to have my back? Gary, dude.
What up, y'all? It's Bailey here to give a quick little reminder that if you haven't already, please subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. At this point, we're not on a steady release schedule, so it's important to follow us so you can see when the new episodes release. And share with a friend too. Bribe them if you have to. And if you have any questions or feedback for us, don't be scared to hit us up on Instagram and TikTok at The Least Famous Ryan. Now let's get back to Nate's story.
So I brought an air cannon in, like one of the ones, like the guns, like you pull them back and a big puff of air comes out. Yeah. I'd fill it up with smoke from like the smoke machines and fire like a puff of like smoke at somebody. Mm-hmm. And management saw it, like, we love this. So it ended up getting approved after they saw how cool it was.
Yeah.
But sometimes, once again, just make sure to, keep your distance with it. You don't want to piss anybody off. I said, you got it. And I would go right up to someone's face, point blank, just pop them. It's just air, right? Yeah. You felt those things. It's not the end of the world. But come on, get over yourself. You were mad about that. And I would do that, and I would just go right up to people, pop right in the face. And I went up to this dude, and he's big man. Huge guy. Like, he was like probably 6'7". I'm going around, and this guy's walking through, pushing a stroller. His wife's right next to him. He has a baby in a backpack. So his child, this is 12 o'clock midnight, by the way. Your child should not be at a Halloween event. Please do not bring your children to Halloween events, please. And if you do, give them ear protection, please, dear God, because it's so loud at all these events. And you'd be surprised. I see babies all the time at Universal too. No ear protection, just walking with their parents. I'm just like, dude, at least give your child ear protection if you're going to bring them to these events.
Yeah.
Protect their ears, please. Be decent. Anyways, guy's carrying his baby in his backpack with his wife, pushing his stroller. And my whole thing was I would always try to go for the dads, the bigger guys, because, you know, like everyone, I'm going to target those girls. They're so scared, you know, I'm going to target the people who look scared. I would go for the big guys. And, you know, oftentimes I wouldn't scare them, but they would be like, oh, that was great. Thank you. Like they're usually pretty, and that's the whole point, right? As long as they're leaving smiling, you're doing it. You're doing the job. So that's all, even if you're not scaring them. So I went right for him. Figured this guy would appreciate it. He probably hasn't been scared all night because he's 6'7". He's huge, just massive. One of the biggest guys I've ever seen. Like muscular too, like huge guy. Like very athletic looking. I just pop him point blank right in the face. And I'm walking away and I just hear, "What the fuck did you just do to me?" And I turn around and I feel a hand. And I went, oh man, this bear paw on me. I turn around and this big old guy's like holding on to me. And I'm like, oh no. So I don't know what you think I did next, but it's probably not what you're expecting. He goes, "What'd you just do to me?" And I went, "Oh, let me show you." Popped him a second time. I do this 2 more times, by the way, in the story. So
oh my gosh.
It was like one of my, I figured it might be my last year at Fright Fest. So I was like, not like I was trying to get into a fight, but I was like, you know, whatever. Like, this guy, what's he gonna do? Hit me? It's fine. You know, I'll live, maybe. Pop him in the face and he goes, and he starts squaring up to me. And he unbuckles, right for this, he unbuckles his child and puts his baby in the bag on the floor.
What?
His stroller starts rolling away. He's pushing the stroller. And his wife's like, "What are you doing?" Grabbing the stroller, grabbing the baby off the ground. And this guy is squaring up to me. He's like, "I'm going to fuck you up, motherfucker." And I go, "All right, sir, you need to relax. You're starting to sound like my ex-wife." Classic line. Love talking about my non-existent ex-wife out there.
Works all the time.
And he goes, "You're starting to sound like my bitch." Pop him a third time. just to really stir shit up. And people are watching, like a lot of like the fans that were always there, like supporting us, were like, I could see them, they're sweating. They're about to watch this blue clown get his ass handed to him in the middle of a scare zone, which is kind of poetic in a way after all these years of just being kind of a dick to people. I was like, I probably deserve this. And he's squaring up to me and he's like, "You better not do that one more time." Did it one more time. And now he is fully walking towards me, rolling his sleeves up like he's gonna beat my ass. And I was like, yeah, I'm cooked. I'm so cooked right here.
Whoa.
All of a sudden, I see a little purple blob coming from the side. And who is it? It's Gary.
Oh,
Gary's coming back to return the favor. He's coming to defend me after I just defended him earlier in the year. I go, oh, Gary's here. And he's like, all right. And he has his hand on me, has his hand on this guy. He's like, "Please stop, sir, stop. Please stop, please stop." The guy's like, "Get the fuck out of my way. Get the fuck out of my way." And he looks at me. He's like, "I'm going to fuck this." Calls me the N-word. Now, this guy, I should preface this gentleman, this guest was black.
Okay.
Calls me the N-word. And Gary, I should preface, also a black man, goes, "All right, hey, don't use that." He's like, "Come on, man, don't." And he has these like fake teeth in too. He has like these clown teeth in. He's like, "All right." He's like, "Come on, man, stop. Come on, dude. Don't use that word like that. You know better. And he's like, "F you too." Calls him the N-word. And so all of a sudden I see Gary go, pops his teeth out. I go, oh, Gary's about to fight this guy. He rolls his sleeve up and he goes, "I'm black too. You can't use that word like that. You're using it." And then like they just start getting in each other's face and they're screaming at each other. I see this guy cock to hit Gary, and I pull Gary away, and I go, "Let's go!" And Gary and I just take off. We take off running, and this guy is hauling after us. And we run backstage, and unfortunately there was like 2 sheriffs, not security, but sheriffs. They're standing there, so this guy kind of backs off. We run backstage, and he and I were like sweating. We were like, dude, that guy almost messed us up. We almost got killed out there. And he was like, "Why'd you do that? Made him that mad." And I was like, well, kind of popped him about 4 times with this air can. Gary was like, "Oh, man." And I was like, "But you had my back, Gary." He's like, "That's right, I had your back." And I was like, "And I got your back, Gary. I love you, man." He's like, "I love you, Nate." We're like, yeah. We were so hyped. It was hyped as hell. And I was sweating, dude. I was like and I had to like write a whole statement about it because that guy was like out. Like apparently security had to like escort him and his family out of there. Oh boy, that was like one of the most scared I think I've ever been for my life. I was like, I'm gonna get killed right here. This guy's gonna rip my head off. Because like I'm tall, and if I have to do this to somebody, I'm like I'm cooked. And guess what happened? No meeting, nothing.
What? They didn't even at least say like no more air cannon?
No, got away with it unscathed.